What's up, Sons of Montezuma? The San Diego State Aztecs 2023 football season is just a few weeks away. And today we sit down with running back Kenan Christon. All right, Aztec Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. It's your host, Mateo. You can follow me at Mateo San Diego on Twitter, and of course, us on Twitter at Sons of Monty, Instagram, Facebook. And be sure to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. We passed the 800 subscription mark, so a big thank you to all you Sons of Montezuma out there. Just an incredible amount of subscribers from near and far, all across the nation. We see the numbers on the audio version. You can definitely listen to the audio version on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and sometimes you get listens from all over the world. So hey, it's Aztec Nation, but we got to keep spreading the word. The Sons of Montezuma travel all over the world, and so really excited about that. And of course, I am joined with he's protecting our borders from sea to shining sea. What's going on, K5 James? How you doing?
What's up, man? Glad to be here. Let's get this thing going.
All right. Well, fall camp is underway. The season is getting here closer every week. And today we got a special guest, another member of the Sons of Monty NIL team. So let's go ahead and get it started because this dude is real fast. We got to get fast into it and, get the wheels turning. Today's guest is making his Sons of Montezuma podcast debut. It was just over a year ago that this hometown hero made the selection of joining San Diego State's backfield by way of USC. In his first season last year, he showed Aztec Nation flashes of that lightning quick speed that San Diego football fans have come to be excited about since his days playing as a four-star recruit down at Madison High. He possesses elite track star speed and the acceleration to take it to the house on the football field at any given moment, as we all witnessed last year in the Hawaii Bowl, right? This year, he enters into his senior season atop the depth chart at running back and kick returner. We want to welcome to the Sons of Montezuma NIL team, running back number 23, Kenan Christon. What's going on, Kenan?
They bring pressure. It's a check down for Kenan Christon. We told you about the speed. Christon is gone. 73 yards for the touchdown.
And when he recognized that, he said, well, let me turn on the juice. And he's got speed to burn. A little slip screen got him out there, but the blocking was absolutely tremendous. You had two linemen who could not find anybody to block.
How you guys doing?
We got a round of applause. How are you doing today, man? How things going?
Hey, how's it going, Kenan?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good, man. Glad you could make it. Spend a few minutes with us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and I see you've been putting in some serious work.
Oh yeah, everyone has. We've all been pushing each other really hard, actually. So I'm excited for this season. I know that they say a lot on the internet that we're underdogs a lot. So, but I mean, the team is excited, and I feel like we're closer than we've ever been. So I feel like we're going to be really strong and really good this year.
Awesome, man. We're all excited to see you guys as well. You guys kind of showed towards the end of the season like little glimpses of being a really good offense.
Right.
And we're hoping it kind of comes together this year because the glimpses we saw last year look really good and really fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it should be a big entertainment for the fans this year.
So coming in with that chip on the shoulder has got to be the theme for this year's team, right? I mean, like you said, the doubters are out there. They're picking you guys to be fourth in the conference. As we know, there's no longer divisions in the conference anymore. So it's just everybody out for themselves. And, that fourth spot, I'm looking here on, Phil Steele's magazine and Athlon's magazine. They're picking Kenan to be, third team all conference. Now, Kenan, we know the caliber of running back that you are, the level of speed that we've already talked about. Your expectations have to be much higher than what you're hearing out here in the press and in the media and whatnot. What are your goals for this season now that you guys are in camp?
So for me, really, it's just doing the best that I can. I can set goals for myself and say, oh, I want to do this and do this. But I mean, I've never been that type of person. My end goal is to go to the NFL. So, I mean, I know what I have to do to get there. And it's not a number. It's not, it's not like, oh, I have to get this amount of yards or this amount of touchdowns. They want to see that, but I got to perform. I got to be able to perform and show them what they need to see so that I can play at the next level.
Awesome, man. Normally when we do these interviews with you guys, we kind of get just give us a little quick take on like your recruiting experience coming out of high school, man. Kind of walk us through a little bit about how that went down. And you ultimately chose USC, but like kind of your recruiting experience coming up through Pop Warner High School and kind of how it played out.
Right. So I ran track all my life. So I really didn't think I didn't know much about football until probably like my freshman, sophomore year of high school. I was always fast. So I thought I was going to be an Olympian. That was my ultimate goal as a kid growing up. And then I started to play football a little bit. I started in the 6th grade, but it's not like, oh yeah, I'm taking this so serious right now. Like I'm just fast guy. They're just handing me the ball. I'm just running. So around probably the end of my sophomore year is when I kind of started to take football a little more serious because I had become the starting running back at Madison. And at the end of that year, it was a great year for us. At the end of that year, I had started to hear from schools and started to get offers. And being in high school, that gives you the most confidence you can have. Like, oh, I just got an offer from so-and-so, or I have 10 offers. And it's like I'm going into my senior year with 20 offers. I'm feeling great. So I go in and, the recruiting is the big confidence piece because you can have the offers, but the coaches really sell you on you're this great player. We really need you. And it just makes you feel good. Right. So I'm hearing all this from all these different coaches and it translates out on the field. Like I go out and I just ball out. Like that's it. But the biggest thing for me after I got recruited was seeing that most of that stuff that they tell you about it's just to reel you in. That's all it is. It's just to reel you in, to get you to where they need you. Right. So they tell you all these good things. They tell you what you want to hear. Boom, then you're there. And it's like, why I'm not getting what they were telling me all before I got here. Mm-hmm. But the big thing for me with San Diego State after I transferred was they weren't doing that. And I was older. I was going in my junior year. I already knew some places are going to sell this, sell that. But when I was getting recruited here, they didn't tell me, oh yeah, you'll come in and start right away, blah, blah, blah. We need you. They told me I was going to have to compete for it. And that's ultimately what I wanted to do. Like I didn't want it to be given to me because then I'm not working for it. If I'm not working, then I'm not going to get to where I need to be.
Yeah. And kind of going back to that, ultimately it didn't work out at USC. How did the initial contact go with San Diego State? Did you just right away decide you were planning on coming home kind of deal? Or did you kind of talk to some other schools or how did that go?
So I was pretty open to for my recruitment just because I just wanted to see who I could hear from. And I had a couple different smaller schools reaching out. They were all D1, but just like different smaller schools. And then I had another big university reach out to me, but I just wanted to be home. I was going into my junior season and I didn't want to go so far away. It felt good for me to play in front of my family when I was in high school, so I felt like I was going to be the most comfortable and that was going to give me the best chance to succeed was to play in front of my family again and have them to go to bat for me at any situation.
Now, knowing obviously a little bit of the background in your journey here in college football, coming back home, that I'm hearing a much more mature Kenan, I'm sure you could probably say, since leaving high school, right? So, having that support system in your corner here, who are some of those that you kind of you lean on in your corner as your support system here in San Diego?
It's a big wide range, but like immediate, I would have to say my parents for sure, my high school coaches, my girlfriend, of course, and then just my family and friends. Ultimately, they, anytime something is wrong for me, like I feel down or whatever, I can always count on one of them to lift me up. And that's what I need. I don't need to be somewhere far away where I got to call somebody and it may not work. Or if I need to talk to my dad about football, I want to be able to go see him and we can sit down. That face-to-face interaction is strong for me.
Yeah, we had a chance to, I remember that first game or maybe that second game at Snapdragon last season, we got a chance to run into your folks there in the parking lot and just, kind of recognize exactly who they were and the weight that it carried when we saw that you were coming back down to San Diego and of course the San Diego State. So, I don't want to jump too much into it, but just tell me right on the surface level, aside from the finances and the facilities and, the obvious things, the flash that catches people's eye. Right. I mean, what are some of the differences that you recognize right off the bat from a program like a USC and a San Diego State behind closed doors,
Behind closed doors, it's definitely like just the word. Like you'll see all the videos and stuff from other schools. Like you've probably never seen a video in the SDSU weight room. Anywhere else, there's cameras. Like people do things for the cameras other places. You know what I mean? Like people will like act like, oh, my teammates, blah, 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 for the cameras.
Right.
There's no cameras anywhere. There's a few cameras at practice every now and then, but like we don't have a whole 6 people taking pictures. You know what I mean? There's nobody in the weight room. So we're always working. People don't see it, but we're always working. This is the toughest stuff I've ever had to do. Like, and this is the toughest team I've been with, the toughest group of guys, and they're all loving, like genuine. Like I could say that about every person on the team. Like it's different at universities. Like I feel like it's just like they do things more for the cameras rather than being together for real.
Talking with Jalen Maiden, of course, he echoed that big time, making that jump from the offense to defense and then back. And he just saying basically, they squeeze everything out of you in that position, especially at the quarterback. I mean, coming from Mississippi State SEC ball and then, kind of relaying that same type of thing that, they're if you're not cutting it at a certain position, well, okay, there's another 4 or 5 star that could take your place in that. But here at State, I mean, they're going to try to maximize the most out of your potential because they really needed it, obviously. So,
yeah,
awesome to hear. Okay, so you talk about the NFL a little bit. I want to dive into that because we have a former coach on our team that helps us out during the season, and we break down film, just for the fans to kind of give them a little education on what's going on. And he had some questions for you. So Coach C gave me a couple questions. He says, outside of running the ball, every running back loves to run the ball. You want the ball. But outside of running the ball, what is your favorite thing that you love about playing that running back position?
Outside of running the ball, I mean, I love catching the ball, but the one thing I would really say outside of running the ball is being able to be in the back of the field and just watch things develop. Like, that's a big thing for me. Like, when I'm, because you could be a receiver all the way on the other side of the field, and you could be all the way down the field and the ball's caught in front of you. Like, I'm all the way in the back, and I'm always going to be in the back. It's great for me to watch something happen right in front of me, and it just go all the way down the field. Like when we played New Mexico, Tyrell got that ball, he's checking through everyone, he goes all the way up the field. I'm sitting there like, dude, right in the back, watching the whole thing happen.
Unfold before your eyes, you get to see it all.
That's the greatest for me.
Okay. The other question or thing that he alluded to, Coach C, he was saying, it kind of fits into what you just said, is like, picking up that pass protection is huge for a running back, right? Especially if you're going to be like a third down back. Right. That pass protection, you got to have those hands coming out of the backfield. And of course, your route running, you don't necessarily think about that, but for a running back coming out of the backfield, the route running. So what does Kenan Christon take the most pride in out of those 3? Your pass protection, your hands, or your precision route running, and why?
I'll have to say my hands for sure, because all the years I played football, probably up until my senior year of high school, I could barely catch the ball. So I really worked on it, and like that's one thing I really do take pride in. Yeah, everyone drops the ball every now and then, but I do take pride in having great hands as a running back.
Nice, nice.
No, I was going to say, because I kind of know what Coach C was getting at when he asked that first question. I know you take pride in your hands, but like you said, pass blocking is a big deal. How do you feel you've developed as a pass blocker as you've gotten, older and filled out a little bit and more technique down? Do you feel like your pass blocking has improved or?
Yeah, so it's definitely, I barely ever pass blocked in high school, like barely ever touched anyone. But it's definitely improved over the years. It's definitely something that can keep improving. Like we're working on it a lot right now, and I'm feeling very confident about it going into this season. So that's good for me.
And when you're a young guy, you're not necessarily you're looking at the guys in the NFL. You're not looking at their pass blocking skills. You're not looking at all that stuff.
Right.
So like when you were growing up, when you were coming up in San Diego, like we all were, I mean, who was your guy at the running back spot? Everybody had their guy that they watched in the pros or in college. So who was yours?
See, I never really watched football. I didn't know anything about football really until I got a little bit older. But I used to watch it a lot, like on YouTube. And my favorite person to watch was Walter Payton. So
nice.
That's what my favorite running back is.
That's a good one, man. That's a real good one. That was from back in my day, man.
Yeah, sweetness, man. Incredible, and also for his size. I mean, he wasn't the biggest dude, but he was a bulldozer.
Right. He had that dog in him.
So what do you take from watching his film? What do you take? Is it just that dog mentality, or was there anything specific?
Just to have that dog, let nothing stop you. You know what I mean? Anything in front of you is getting ran through. You're just going to keep going.
Hey, Aztec Nation, stop on over to sonsofmontezuma.com, where you can find more SDSU sports, news, articles, podcasts, and the freshest and most unique Aztec-inspired merchandise, including our original NIL shop. Lots of new styles there for both men and women, and even kids. Your support to this channel helps fund a lot more creative ideas. So make sure to stop over to sonsofmontezuma.com. Go Aztecs.
Operating out of the I formation. It's Christon turning the corner, going to pick up the first down and then some.
Okay, so with this new offense here, Coach Ryan Lindley taking over that OC spot. Last year, we talked about it at length last year, all season, at the running back spot, we love to run the ball, of course, but it was we could be honest, it was a little bit of a log jam last year. There was a lot of talent, a lot of experience in the running back room last year. This year, like I said, your name is atop the list there in the depth chart, and there's a lot of talent as well this year coming back. So, how do you see your role changing in the offense, growing in the offense with Coach Lindley? I mean, do you already have a hint towards anything of that nature?
Not just for me, but just for the running back room as a whole. We're trying to be more versatile. So, so we can't just be a running back all the time. Like every time, we want to be able to come in with 2 running backs and be able to have one go play receiver. You know what I mean? We want to be able to have a bunch of guys and we want to be able to come in and we're both in the backfield and they're like, oh, too bad. Somebody goes out and plays receiver. Like, you never know. Keep the defense on their toes, So we want to be able to be the most versatile group on the field, just be able to do it all.
Nice. How are you enjoying the fit now in the new offense? Do you feel like it suits your game pretty well?
I do. I like it a lot. It's great. It's a great usage of speed and power between it all. We have it all for everything. So I like it a lot.
Definitely one of the strengths of the team for sure. Okay, man. So one of the last questions I think I have as far as on-field stuff, I run into well, I won't say that because that's off the record, but okay. So when it comes to on the field, when it comes to like special teams, are we going to see a little bit of action in that direction as well? Or how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, so I am the number 1 kick returner, and I love kick returner. Like that's one of my passions because it's 11 on 11. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody running down the field. And if everything lines up, it's All I need is this much. Right. So, yeah, I mean, I get that chance and that opportunity this year to really be back there and be able to see everything develop and hit it, go all the way to the crib. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, offense don't got to go out on the field. I can just take it to the house every time. But,
So if we post this, are we going to have any guys in the locker room saying, "Nah, I'm faster than Kenan. I should be there at that spot." So who's the fastest on the team, Kenan? Who's the fastest on the team?
For sure. You might get some guys saying otherwise, but they know it's me for real.
I like it.
I believe it.
How are you feeling about the shirts, man? I got good positive feedback from you, man. How are you feeling?
I love it, man. It's great, honestly. It was an amazing design. I was so excited. I jumped up out of my chair. I was like, "Ben, look at this." Yeah,
I try to make it like that NASCAR style. I like that big one.
Yeah, I do like the NASCAR shirt, so that's definitely one I like a lot.
And we'll hopefully try to freshen up some designs as the season goes on. So, hey, if you do something electrifying, we'll try to, create something that's like specific to that play or whatever we could do. So,
yeah, I like that.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for the season, man. We're excited for a big year for you. We know that it's been quite the journey. Maybe another time we'll have you on and we can maybe even go deeper on that journey because I know you got a story to tell, I'm sure. But, man, we appreciate you taking a couple minutes out and, being a part of the team, being a part of the Sons of Montezuma NIL team. We really appreciate it, Kenan.
And it's great, man. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It means a lot.
Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us for a little bit, man.
All righty. Thank you.
All right, man. Enjoy your evening.
You guys too.
Peace. Okay, James, talk with me for a little minute, though, because we just spoke with Kenan. He's an intense dude. You could feel, hey, camp is in mid-swing. He's getting ready. He's been training hard. He's got that chip on his shoulder to put up. And it was really cool to hear him. We're obviously asking him questions about himself, but you could tell he's bought in the team. I mean, he's deflecting things, going to his team. It's not about him. It's about, the group unit and the hard work that they're putting in right now. But, it is a pretty strong running back group this year. And I know we're pretty high on several guys on the team. So, I mean, as we look at the running back position, I mean, we're looking at guys like Jalen Armstead, who we're all big fans of, right? We want to see that guy get out there as much as possible. Of course, you got, young guys like Cam Davis. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Martin Blake. He may be a little bit of a shorter guy, but the dude is like the bowling ball. Everybody keeps describing him, the wrecking ball. So, of course, you got Lucky Sutton waiting in the wings, a couple other young guys. What are you looking at in the overall in the run game? I know you're a big proponent of the run game.
Yeah, man, I like to find kind of two guys to take the lion's share of the load, preferably like a guy like Armstead, the bigger guy, to mix it in there, especially in the fourth quarter, man, when teams are all worn out. They don't want to tackle people anymore. They're tired of chasing a guy like Kenan Christon around. And all of a sudden you put in this guy who just got a full head of steam coming at him at 230 pounds. And they've been tackling and running all game. That's rough. That's how you run that 4-minute offense that Coach Hoke loves to run when, you get a nice double-digit lead and just kind of sap that clock for everything it's got. So I kind of like to see – I know I've kind of heard it talked about like a thunder and lightning kind of thing, but – I mean, it doesn't even have to be a thunder and lightning, just two good, solid guys that kind of take over and are productive.
I'm partial to shake and bake. You know what I mean? I kind of like the shake and bake thing.
Shake and bake, yeah.
Shake them, then bake. Wax them and tax them. I'm a big proponent of waxing and taxing as well. So, but yeah, no, I hear. I can't remember which game it was last year. Jalen Armstead. It was like similar type of thing. The game went perfect in that order to where like we got out to big lead, and then you just bring Jalen in there, and I mean the dude was ripping off 6 yards a carry or 7 yards a carry. It seemed like. But the main thing is health, right? Running back position. I didn't really get a chance to ask him a good question as far as NFL type stuff, right? I mean, it's kind of like the attrition battle, right? Whoever's last standing, and at that running back spot, they're nicked up all the time. So yeah. I hear what you're saying. Having those two guys, I'm in favor of that. But at the same time, it's going to be kind of tricky to see, okay, who can you mix in? You know, if they're going to have him running kickoff returns, I don't think punt returns, but if you're going to have running kickoff returns, okay, well, if he's your running back by choice at the top of the depth chart, you got to keep him healthy at the same time, right? You got to keep him fresh. That's going to be a trick.
Yeah, that's that fine line you got to walk, you know, because they have Rashad Penny doing that. And, you know, you just got to, part of it's luck, and then part of it's just a guy, you know, luckily Rashad was a bigger guy, so he could take that kind of pounding. But some guys are just good at avoiding big hits and avoiding getting their legs caught in awkward situations and stuff like that. We haven't seen enough of Kenan running the ball yet to know, well, I mean, besides high school, to know if he's that kind of a runner. But I think it's very possible. I mean, that he's got the athletic ability to do it for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see like how he takes on taking a bigger part of the offense, because it seems like they're going to use him like all over the place from everything I'm reading and hearing. He's not just going to be a guy in the backfield. It sounds like they're going to line him up in the slot and all kinds of stuff like that. So he's gonna have his he's gonna get a lot of carries, but they're not necessarily all going to be carries from coming, you know, 7 yards deep in the backfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts and how he deals with that.
One of the things I'm kicking myself right now is because obviously we got a new running back coach, but you want to give the running back coach kind of some grace, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's his first year here at State. Replacing Jeff Horton is not going to be easy. You know, I would have loved to have gotten kind of that contrast between the two. But how can you know, right? You're barely getting into fall camp right now. I mean, I don't think that they even had a running back coach back in spring ball. So,
yeah, I think the other coach that they hired, I think he left right after spring ball. I want to say
it was like either right before. It was something like that. I mean, of course, you're going to take an NFL gig. You're going to do that. But,
yeah. I mean, you can't blame the guy, but yeah. So you're right. He may not have anything to go on other than just like him being there for their workouts and stuff like that, and the few team meetings I'm sure they've had. So he might not even know his style all that well yet. So we might not have gotten much out of him in that regard. So,
and of course we're talking about Jimmy Beal. Jimmy Beal, he was hired from Montana State, and you know he's got years of experience. But you know you want to give him a fair shake before you start critiquing and you know talking about his performance as a coach. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Get him in there in this fall camp, and you know when it's all said and done, I'm sure we'll get some reports on it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, dude. It was good to be on. Good to talk to Kenan. He's a really cool cat. So as the days get closer to the real part of fall camp, when they start putting on the pads and stuff, I'm getting like more and more amped up for it, man. I'm starting to get excited. And all the guys we've met so far this year have been like really solid, interesting guys to talk to. So I'm excited to do some more of these.
Well, we're all excited to see him, and man, thank you, James. That was cool. We'll have to get back on it next time.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
I'm an Aztec warrior.
Yo.